We are on the west side of Sioux Falls, Roosevelt High School, for a crosstown city showdown late in February. The top-ranked Lincoln Patriots and their 16-1 record visiting the red-hot Rough Riders, who come in at 7-9 and winners of 4 in a row. Good evening. I'm John Gaskins along with Brad Newitt. It's our Avera Game of the Week on the simulcast. We're on the radio at Fox Sports 98.1 and AM 1230, and we're online at metrosports.tv and dakotanewsnow.com, and we're even on the old-fashioned television set, the Outlaw Channel, 13.2, Brad. And this game is an interesting clash of teams on a roll. The Patriots have won 6 in a row since their only loss of the season to defending state champ Mitchell a few weeks ago, and the Rough Riders just getting their lineup, getting their chemistry down, and here comes another Mitch Begeman squad peaking at the right time.
Yeah, this is a team in Roosevelt, I think, that had a lot of growing pains this year, and they just had so many guys who didn't have a lot of varsity experience and not experience also in the roles that they were going to be on this team. And you've seen this Roosevelt team get better and better as the season's gone on. I think also they had to play a really tough schedule to start the year out, right? They were playing a lot of the top teams. They got better against some teams that were a little lower than them record-wise, and I think that really helped their confidence. And, yeah, they're playing their best basketball of the year, no doubt about it.
And meanwhile, Lincoln was looking like a team we were wondering if they were going to run the table after a 10-0 start, blowing their opponents out by an average of 20 points a game, having blistered top 5 teams like Washington and O'Gorman back-to-back by over 30 points each. And then Mitchell came at them like a freight train on a Friday night, and things recalibrated for the Patriots. They've gotten tougher, they've gotten more physical, and we'll see how that goes against a tough, physical program eternally in Mitch Begeman's Roosevelt. This is one game tonight. There are others, so let's take a look at the slate of other games across South Dakota High School. AA boys basketball tonight, brought to you by our friends at Augustana University, where you can find your bold. And the third-ranked Brandon Valley Lynx, who Lincoln beat on Friday night to knock the Lynx off the number 1 perch down to number 3 at T-Area, the newest AA boys basketball team. The Titans are 8-9 in that maiden voyage in the state's largest class. And so Brandon Valley fell from 1 to 3. Lincoln went up from 2 to 1, and Mitchell is now the number 2 team. And the Colonels are hosting the Washington Warriors. And I tell you what, Brad, as we look at our Touch Market All Saints top 5, we are starting to see some impressive teams beyond the top of the crop. And that includes the likes of Washington and O'Gorman.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the top 5, and I think when you look at the top 3 and, what's going on with that, I mean, those 3 teams that are at the top, and the top 3 teams are Lincoln at number 1, Mitchell's now at number 2, Brandon Valley is at number 3. When you look at those, then I think the biggest thing that you see with that group is that, okay, hey, those 3 have all played really good basketball throughout the year, but they've also played really good games against each other, right? Mitchell beat Lincoln. Lincoln just beat Brandon Valley last week, right? And so I think it's going to be a terrific race down the end of the season when you look at those top 3. I think especially they have separated themselves in this season at this point.
Yeah. Harrisburg, though, a sparkling record going out west to Rapid City last weekend. They lost on Friday night, won on Saturday. They're 14-3, and they're just kind of creeping beneath the surface of this Lincoln, Brandon Valley, and Mitchell jumble. Washington and O'Gorman, a pair of teams that have kind of altered around the number 5 and 6 spots. They had a knockdown, drag out at O'Gorman on Friday night that the Knights were able to pull away and win. Huron is a team that's made a lot of noise and knocked on a lot of doors this year against top 5 teams as well. Lincoln and Roosevelt is the showdown here tonight. The Rough Riders still grappling for a home playoff game in the Sodak 16. And we'll get into the team profiles, the players to watch, the keys to winning, and tip-off is just over 10 minutes away. It's Lincoln and Roosevelt on a Tuesday on our Avera Game of the Week Fox Sports 98.1, Metrosports.tv, the Outlaw Channel 13.2, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
Time is valuable.
You shouldn't have to wait for the weather forecast.
That's why the First Alert Weather Team is giving you weather every 5 minutes in every newscast.
Every 5 minutes in the morning, every 5 minutes in the evening,
and every 5 minutes on the weekends, too.
Focusing on the weather that affects you.
You'll always get the First Alert so you can plan ahead.
First Alert weather every 5 minutes. Only on Dakota News Now.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
Finding a place to belong is everything. It's where you can make a difference, where you're heard, where you have a team that supports you, and the benefits you deserve. At Avera, you can find that place. You belong at Avera. Apply today. Avera.org/careers.
Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Josh and Emily are visiting Emily's parents this weekend, where Josh will propose. He's nervous, but not about the ring. Well done, Josh. Well done. Chase is proposing to Ashley at the resort where they first met. Ashley was vacationing with friends, but Chase ended up being her best friend of all, plus some. Every diamond tells a story, but there's no story like yours. And there's no diamond like a Greenberg's diamond. Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
In nursing, where you work matters. At Avera, we build Team Green around you, with a culture that values and supports you. Leaders who listen and care about your success, and benefits to reward the great work you do. The grass is greener at Avera, so join Team Green. Learn more at avera.org/careers.
Lincoln at Roosevelt. Top-ranked Patriots visiting a red-hot Rough Rider bunch on the west side of Sioux Falls. It's a Tuesday night. It's our Avera Game of the Week of high school hoops on Fox Sports 98.1 Radio, Metrosports.tv, DakotaNewsNow.com, and the Outlaw Channel 13.2. John Gaskins with Brad Newitt, and it's time for our South Dakota State University Team Profiles, brought to you by SDSU. And for the Patriots, they won their first 10, Brad, and they were basically steamrolling everybody. Mitchell socked them in the mouth, 69-58 at Lincoln. And then The Patriots, after winning 5 in a row after that, beat Brandon Valley, the number 1 team, on Friday by the same score. And so they've ascended back to number 1. They score 68 points per game, and boy, can they shoot the three.
Yes, they really can. You see, they make 9 threes a game, and that's pretty impressive for a high school team in a 32-minute game. They've got a lot of players that can really spread it around the arc. And when they beat Roosevelt back on December 30th, a game that was played at the Sanford Pentagon, 71-47, they did just that. They were on fire from the perimeter that night, rolling to 71 points.
Head coach Luke Hanneman says practices have been so much better and sharper after that Mitchell loss. It was the proverbial wake-up call they needed to get more physical, get better at rebounding, and get better at defense. They'll need a lot of that because they're going to get a lot of it out of the Roosevelt Rough Riders, coached by Mitch Begeman, who was Luke Hanneman's boss for the last 8 years before this one. Of course, Mitch has been the head coach now for almost a decade at Roosevelt. 7-9 this season, but they've started to get going. They've won 3 in a row by an average of 14 points in that stretch.
Yeah, they've been playing their best basketball this season, no doubt about it. And why? They're shooting the basketball a lot better, right? From the three-point line especially, they're getting really good guard play. And this is a team that early on also really struggled on the glass, right? I think they're getting better at that. You see, they beat Watertown on Friday, 72-50. Probably their most complete game maybe they've played. This is an experienced bunch, John, with 10 seniors on the roster, but like we mentioned, not a lot of them came into this season with varsity experience, but they're really, I think, starting to put it all together. Now, can they pull off what would be a huge upset here on their home floor? We'll see here tonight.
Yeah, Mitch Begeman says his team has improved so much since that 71-47 loss to Lincoln at the President's Bowl Classic at the Pentagon on December 30th. They've certainly matured and figured some things out. Now, our Central Bank players to watch for tonight, and we'll start with the visiting team from Lincoln. And that is Sam Erickson, man, and some of the premier games this year. Harrisburg in the opener, and the Tigers are the number 4 team in the state. And against O'Gorman on a Friday night. This kid lit it up. He's averaging 13 a game, but he could go easily over 20 on any given night.
Well, we mentioned how Lincoln can really shoot the three as a team, and Erickson leads the way. He makes 3 threes a game, but he does it very impressively with some really deep range. He can hit the contested ones. They do a great job running sets to try to free him up on the arc.
And for Roosevelt, well, they've got a very balanced scoring attack, but their leading scorer and by far their leading three-point bomber is Jamari Tiger, a 5'8 senior guard averaging 11 points a game with 36 trays through the net.
Yeah, I mean, he's really quick with the ball in his hands too, right? So he can really get up and down the floor, and he gets a lot of his threes in transition. But when he gets hot, he's a really streaky shooter, but when he gets hot, watch out. He can really carry this team offensively. And they're going to probably need that tonight, right? If they're going to pull this upset and beat Lincoln, they're going to need Tiger to hit 3 or 4 deep ones tonight to give themselves a chance.
All right, we're just about set. Roosevelt's back on the floor out of the locker room after warming up, and the Patriots are trotting back on themselves. It is a crosstown showdown, and number 1 Lincoln looking to extend its winning streak to 7 and stop Roosevelt's run at 3. In our Avera Game of the Week, tip-off next on Fox Sports 98.1 Radio, Metrosports.tv, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
It's important to have cloudy vision flying an aircraft. You have to have perfect vision. It's vital. I came here 4 years ago, Advanced Thompson Vision, and had my first light adjustable lens. About 5 weeks ago, I came and had the second one done. It's just the technology is out of this world. It's outstanding, you know. There's nothing else like it in the world. But even if I could get it done in Dubai or Tokyo or Singapore, I wouldn't do it except here. Only Advanced Thompson Vision.
Here at Touchmark at All Saints, you're going to be surrounded by history.
When you drive up to our community, you are impressed by the beautiful campus all around. This community is a combination of the old and the new. The old on the exterior, but your apartments are impressive. I've never been so pampered in my life.
So it's the combination of both the history and modernization that makes it fun and enjoyable.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, Helping families account for their dreams and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
We all have dreams. At South Dakota State University, we dare to dream big. From the arts to the sciences, students and faculty discover what is possible and solve complex problems, challenging ourselves to think differently and impact our world. With SDSU, reaching to the stars starts on solid ground. Experience our elevated approach to education that prepares students to walk toward their future and build something greater.
High school basketball, the Avera game of the week from Roosevelt High School, where the Rough Riders at 7-9 looking for the big upset over crosstown rival Sioux Falls Lincoln, barging in ranked number 1 with a 16-1 record and a 6-game winning streak. John Gaskins along with Brad Newitt. We invite you to listen on Fox Sports 98.1 or watch on metrosports.tv, dakotanewsnow.com, and the Outlaw Channel 13.2. And just before tip-off, as the starting lineups are being introduced for both of these teams, Brad, a look at our Vern Eide keys to the game, first for the top-ranked Patriots.
Yeah, these brought to you by Vern Eide Motor Cars. And I think for Lincoln, when you look at what's really made them successful, is they really play team basketball. They share the basketball maybe better than any team in South Dakota. They average 14 assists a game, and they only average about 7 turnovers. So they take really good care of it. That's an amazing assist-to-turnover ratio for an entire team. But I think for them to really play at their best offensively, it's when they're really moving the basketball and sharing it. And if they can do that tonight, they will be a really difficult team for Roosevelt to slow down, as they have been for almost every team in the state this year. And for Roosevelt, they got to find a way to pressure Lincoln. I think they've got to use some athleticism, some quickness that they have on the perimeter, really try to see if they can get after the guards for Lincoln. Turn up the heat, right? I mean, see if you can force some turnovers. Let that defense create some offense for you. If you're Roosevelt, you're here in your home gym. I mean, make Lincoln feel uncomfortable. That's what the Riders have to do tonight.
Well, that's kind of the identity of the program.
Yep.
That is what Mitch Begeman built this Roosevelt program on. He came to this school in 2016. And in his first year they were 1-21. The cupboard was bared, and he had to build things from scratch, and it just got better and better. They got to 10-12. Then in his third year they make the state tournament at 15-9 and finish 5th place. Then they go 15-6 in the COVID year, and then back-to-back state titles in 2021 and 22, 17-5, and then 24-0. They ran the table, and they just did it with a new crop. His second year, there were some guys came in, some guys came out, but it doesn't matter who is wearing those Rough Rider jerseys. They are going to hound you with the press. They're going to play lockdown defense. They're going to get a lot of points off of making you uncomfortable, and it's tough to make these Patriots uncomfortable as we watch their starters being introduced. Edison Knoll, Sam Erickson, Sam DeGroat, their leading scorer at 14.5 points per game. Their leading rebounder at 6.5. You just saw Brody Schaefer, the state title-winning quarterback, a sophomore that does not play like one, averages 10 points a game, and Luke Kremke's the defensive end to be for South Dakota State's football team. And, of course, Kremke's at 6'4", is a menacing post, 7.5 points, 6.5 rebounds per game. Roosevelt's starting lineup, this is a balanced attack, as we mentioned earlier. And as we watch the ball boys for the game being introduced, Dane Quick, 6'3" senior, long and athletic, 6.5 points per game for Dane Quick. He is the team leader in assists at 2.5 per contest. That's C.J. Schmass, a 5'9" junior, averaging 4 points per game. Memphis Bylander, 10 points, 5 rebounds a game, a 6'4" junior guard. Akeem Moko is a lot to handle down low, a 6'5" senior, 5.5 points, a team-leading 4 rebounds a game. And Micah Kranzler, the final starter being announced, 6'1" senior. Brad, Roosevelt's leading scorer, Jamari Tiger, a 5'8" guard, our player to watch tonight, 11 points a game. He will come off the bench. Very interesting. This gym is almost full on a Tuesday night for a city showdown. Patriots at 16-1 and on a 6-game winning streak, ranked number 1. Roosevelt at 7-9, but having won 3 in a row. They're in their white jerseys, white shorts, maroon numerals, gold trim. Lincoln in their Columbia blues, jerseys and shorts, white numerals, scarlet red trim, and in the center circle, it's Akeem Moko, a high leaper at 6'5" for Roosevelt. Sam DeGroat, a 6'6" guard for Lincoln, in the floppy hair and the white headband, and the ball is in the air, and the Patriots get a DeGroat hand, and Brody Schaefer will run things from the point. Great to have you along, both on the radio and on TV tonight on our Rivera Game of the Week. Roosevelt in a man-to-man defense, and Lincoln very patient right now. This is a team that shoots 48% as a team from the field. They pick their spots. Schaefer double-teamed on the right wing, bounces inside to Kremke's. The reverse is 3 guys converge on him, falls off the left side of the rim, and it's rebounded in the right corner by Kranzler for Roosevelt.
Boy, a great look for Lincoln that they don't finish at the rim, and they don't leave very many of those points out on the table. They did that time, though.
Rough Riders average 55 a game. They give up 55. In fact, almost all their stats, they're dead even with their opponents this year. Bylander at the top of the key. Lincoln in a man-to-man defense. Rough Riders keeping it around the arc, and now a 3-ball from Quick at the top is right on down. Wide open, a 3-0 Roosevelt lead, and here comes the press, a double team on Schaefer. He gets out of it to Erickson, and then to Kremke's across the timeline, and Schaefer will set up the point. Schaefer with a left-handed dribble, twisting in between 2 Rough Riders, dumping it down low to Kremke's. He picks it up, just throws it up at the glass, missed it. Good hounding defense, and the rebound to Moko for the Riders.
Good start for Roosevelt, though. They make their first shot, a 3-pointer, and they got that lead early on.
Minute and a half in, 3-0, the Rough Rider lead, and Akeem Moko drives the right rails, just gets a right-handed scoop around the body of Luke Kremke's. It's 5-0.
Well, Moko is more athletic than Kremke's. He just used his quickness to get right past Lincoln's center.
Brody Schaefer turns it over across the timeline as he was double-teamed on the full-court press. Kranzler picked it up for Roosevelt. Dribbles to the left baseline. Lincoln defense catches up. Moko left wing, up top Bylander. Bylander shot fake, then drives it on DeGroat. Couple pump fakes. Had the right-handed scoop himself around DeGroat. Missed it, DeGroat the rebound. And Lincoln down 5-0, 2 minutes in. The number 1 team in the state looking for its first points. Brody Schaefer at the Rough Rider logo at half court. Now DeGroat handing it off left side to Knoll. Up top Kremke's. A lot of space in between Kremke's and Moko. And meanwhile, Kremke's threw it away. He was looking for a teammate on the near sideline and just out of bounds in the Lincoln backcourt.
Well, credit Roosevelt. They're getting out pressuring. They're in the passing lanes, and that created confusion for Lincoln.
4 possessions, no points for the Patriots. A turnover and 3 Rough Rider stops. 2 missed field goals. Meanwhile, the Riders have scored on 2 of their first 3 possessions. Up 5-0. Here's Quick behind the arc. Almost nailed the 3. A good look. Left of the key, and the rebound goes to DeGroat for Lincoln.
Boy, that would have been a huge one for Roosevelt. Could have put them up 8-0.
Erickson for 3 at the top for Lincoln, and he nailed it. Sam Erickson, his 53rd tray of the year. He is 42% on average behind the arc, and it's 5-3 Riders.
And Roosevelt can't give Erickson a clean look from the top of the key like that.
3 minutes in. Kranzler shot fake at the top into a double team. Left wing Bylander. Erickson's hand in his face. Up top, now right of the key, a 3-ball on the way, off the front of the rim for Schmoss, and the rebound to the 6'4 Kremke's underneath. Patriots right to the left goal, down 5-3, number one team in the state, averaging 66 points a game, one of the highest scoring teams in the state. Knoll deep back right side, dribbles left hand, all the way down the left rails. Quick on him like glue. Up top, Erickson, guarded by Bylander. Erickson spinning, mid-post turnaround. Missed it, airballed, out of bounds. It is Roosevelt ball, and the Rough Riders are doing what you said their key to the game was, Brad.
Yeah, they've been really good with their pressure. They've contested shots, and they're doing it as a team, right? That's got to continue. The energy that Roosevelt's playing with, can they sustain that for 32 minutes? We're going to see.
Dang Quick checks out for Roosevelt. Mitch Begeman usually goes 3 or 4 deep in his bench. He has to have fresh bodies when you press as much as they do. And DeAndre Painter in for Lincoln. He is a smart plug, a great shooter off the bench. And as Roosevelt was kind of throwing it around the arc, Bylander had the ball stripped away, but a foul whistled on Lincoln. And it's on Sam Erickson, who has the Patriots' only points of the game. First foul called on either team. So far in a physical game, they're letting them play. Kranzler checks out for Roosevelt. Jamari Tiger, their leading scorer, 36 three-pointers to his name, 43% beyond the arc, is in.
Yeah, watch him, number 12 out there in white.
Moko at the top, guarded by DeGroat, halfway down. Fires a pass into the corner, left side, out of bounds. And it is off the intended receiver, C.J. Schmoss. So Roosevelt's first turnover of the game, and Lincoln gets it back down 5-3. We played halfway, 4 minutes of this first quarter. Light press this time for Roosevelt, and the Patriots able to get it across. Isaiah Tier is off the bench. He hands it off to Painter, who bounces it up top to Schaefer. Right wing, and a slash inside Tier, a Tier drop. Missed it off the back of the rim, batted up top, 3-ball on the way. That's down. Justin Bilal coming in off the bench, his 11th three-pointer of the year. Lincoln with a 6-5 lead.
Well, that's the thing with Lincoln. When they go to their bench, they still got guys that could really shoot the basketball and would probably start for a lot of teams.
Tiger with a perfect rainbow, 3 feet beyond the arc at the top of the key, makes it 8-6 Roosevelt, and he was left open off a screen. Other side, Painter barging down the lane, whistle blows, that's an offensive foul. A charge, and off the bench, Bryson Skogsberg, a transfer from Vermilion, takes the charge to give Roosevelt the ball back with an 8-6 lead. So Painter got aggressive and paid for it. And part of being a tough, physical, full-court pressing team for Mitch Begeman and Roosevelt, you better be willing to take some charges.
Yeah, that was a big-time defensive play. That could have gone either way. Roosevelt got that call, though.
Lincoln still in a man-to-man. Carson Hoynes off the bench for the Rough Riders. They've already sent 4 guys off the bench. On the left wing, it's Isaiah Garong driving the baseline, and Tier just cuts him off, forces him back to the left wing. 10-12 on the shot clock. Deep back right side now. Dribbling to the wing, Skogsberg in the shorts. Bilal in his shorts. Skogsberg, step back 3. Airballed it with 3 on the shot clock. Loose into the right corner, and because it never hit the rim, the shot clock runs out. That's a violation and a Lincoln stop. 2:38 remaining in the first, an 8-6 Roosevelt lead.
That was a great defensive possession by Lincoln. They covered up everything Roosevelt was trying to do, forced a deep contested 3 that drew nothing but air.
Full court press again. DeGroat in the Roosevelt paint. Dribbling between his legs. And is able to get across the timeline. And now Lincoln has a left wing 3 on the way for Painter. Hits the heel. And Tiger gets in there for the rebound. And a long outlet pass. Ripped off in the mid-post by DeGroat. DeGroat with the 6'4 frame, big long arms, able to leap up and grab it. Roosevelt's 3rd turnover. And now the Patriots down by 2. Just over 2 minutes left in the first quarter, taking their time. Here's a 3 left wing. In there, Brody Schaefer had some space off a screen. 9-8 Patriots, our third lead change.
Well, there's Lincoln's potent shooting ability. They can do it from all positions.
Skogsberg open for three at the top. That's right of the mark. Rebound, put back. That missed. Point blank by Schmass. Not much in front of him, and the Patriots get the board. Painter driving it down, kicking it out, and another charge whistled on DeAndre Painter off the bench for Lincoln. A 6'2 sophomore guard with some size, some strength, some speed, but that time the freight train a little out of control.
Yep.
And he'll take a seat on the bench. Knoll and Erickson, two starters, check back in for Lincoln.
Yeah, you said it exactly. Painter trying to play some transition basketball, but did not come to a jump stop. That was an easy call for the officials that time.
1:40 remaining in the first. Lincoln up 9-8 at Roosevelt. Patriots number one in the state on a 6-game win streak. Riders are 7-9, but have won 3 in a row. Rematch of a 24-point Lincoln win almost 2 months ago. And a wild drive through traffic. C.J. Schmass gets fouled. That looked pretty out of control. And he was bailed out by a hack on the arm on Isaiah Tier from Lincoln. So C.J. Schmass to the line trying to tie this thing up for Roosevelt. And if he can hit 2 free throws, he'll give him the lead. He is 15 of 21 on the year, 71%. Takes his time. A couple lazy dribbles. And the first flick off the rim of the glass and out. First free throw for either team. Lincoln has 4 fouls to Roosevelt's 0.
Well, Roosevelt's got to make good when they get to the foul line, right? I mean, these are points you've got to cash in on if you're going to beat the number 1 team.
Couple dribbles. Schmass again with the right hand. That bobbles in and out. Rebounded by Kremkes as all the Riders got back to play defense. So Brody Schaefer, the sophomore state championship quarterback, takes it through traffic. Oh, zings it down low to Kremkes. He's blocked on the way up by Moko. Somebody stepped on the line, and it was Schmass from Roosevelt who picked up the block. And so Lincoln retains possession with 24 on the shot clock. 1:13 remaining in the first quarter, up 9-8 at Roosevelt. Schaefer, the inbounds pass.
Big time block there, though, by Roosevelt.
Tiger gets his hand on the ball, left wing off the inbound. It's loose. Tiger can't pick it up, but Schmass right behind him does. To Tiger on the right wing. He wanted a 3. Erickson closed him out. And so Tiger dribbles back to the hash mark. And now at the top, it's Garong. Almost decided to take a 3 with the Grote right in his face. 50 seconds remaining. Backcourt steal. Erickson driving on Tiger. Trying to spin and stolen by Schmass. Right of the Lincoln lane. So turnovers by each team.
Yep.
Both teams with a few in this first quarter. And now the Rough Riders have it with Schmass in between the rings. Denies a screen. And then down the lane, Moko. Kick out. Tiger's open for 3. A little rim and glass off the right wing. And Knoll comes up with it for Lincoln. Shot clock is off. 20 seconds remain in this first quarter. A tight one. 3 lead changes, and Brody Schaefer standing in the tip of Teddy Roosevelt's hat, the Rough Rider logo at half court. Cross dribbling off the screen from DeGroat. Step back 3 on its way with 5 off the back iron. Tipped around, taken in by Skogsberg, but out of bounds to the Roosevelt bench far side, and Lincoln will have it with a 2.5 remaining in the first quarter. Tiger to Roosevelt's bench. They sub him in for defense. Knoll, the inbounds pass right in front of Mitch Begum, the Roosevelt coach. Right wing extended on the far side. Both coaches directing players where to be for this last 2.5. Finally, the whistle. Knoll in, and Erickson, jumper, buzzer, would have counted. Right of the key 3, but it's off the back iron, and we go to the second. The shots were not exactly raining through, but a up and down defensive game. Lincoln 9, Roosevelt 8. Second quarter is next on our Avera Game of the Week. Fox Sports 98.1 Radio.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold, at Augustana University.
This guy had more issues with his eyes. The minute he first came out of surgery, he walked in with a huge grin on his face, and for the first time since he was a little kid, he could see perfect.
Going to Vance Thompson Vision was an easy experience. If you're going to trust your eyes to anybody, trust them to a leader in that field.
When it came time for me to make a decision about where we were going to go for my LASIK surgery, there was no question that it would be Vance Thompson Vision.
Top-ranked Lincoln leading West Side rival Roosevelt 9-8 as we start the second quarter at Roosevelt. John Gaskins with Brad Newitt on our Avera Game of the Week. C.J. Schmoss blowing by everybody down the left lane and getting the friendly roll around the rim on the drive through a lot of traffic. Schmoss gives the Riders a 10-9 lead. Full court press beaten by Sam Erickson's wheels across into the backcourt right side, and now Brody Schaefer, the ball in his hands between the rings. Man-to-man Roosevelt defense. Rough Riders started the game excellently on this side. Lincoln did not score on its first 4 possessions. Schaefer lost his dribble, picked it up right in the lane, and now Knoll kicking it out, left wing 3 on the way, and Justin Bilal has a pair of trays off the bench for the Patriots, a 12-10 Lincoln lead. And then Brody Schaefer just trying to get in the pocket of C.J. Schmoss, whistled for reaching in across half court as Roosevelt was trying to set up its offense. Starter Sam DeGroat will check in along with Isaiah Tier. Luke Kremke's at 6'4", a post, and Edison Knoll, a tall starting guard, check out for Lincoln. I mean, 5'11", not exactly tall, but looks taller than 5'11". Justin Bilal bats the ball on the inbounds pass. It was Micah Kranzler inbounding on the near side for Roosevelt on their hash mark just across the timeline. And the leap of Justin Bilal batted the ball off the inbound, off of Kranzler, and so Lincoln gets it. And Schaefer driving down the right side of the lane, throws it out left corner. Tier driving on a double team into DeGroat, right underneath, missed it, and a whistle. DeGroat fouled on the way up. Physical game, Brad. Low scoring so far. That favors the underdogs at home.
Absolutely. I think Roosevelt's got to be really happy with how the first quarter went. I mean, you hold Lincoln, a team that's averaging 68 points a game, to just 9 in that first quarter. Roosevelt's got this thing right where they want it to be so far.
DeGroat averages 14.5 a game, did not score in the first quarter, makes his first free throw. The foul was on C.J. Schmoss, his first, and we reset the foul count when we start quarters. And each team has 1. Here in the second, DeGroat makes his second free throw. And 1 minute into the second, it is 13-10, top-ranked Lincoln, looking for its 7th win in a row. Riders seeking their 4th straight win. Man-to-man Lincoln defense. Roosevelt has been patient on possessions, trying to shorten this game and limit Lincoln's possessions. Patriots top-ranked and top-scoring team in the state, and we have an over and back call. This was very interesting. So Gabe Kranzler was near the timeline, or on it, and Justin Bilal was in his face. Bilal got a hand on the pass, which Kranzler recovered, but they called over and back. So either Bilal didn't touch it, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was a little confused on that too, but nonetheless, Lincoln ends up with the basketball and a chance to add to a 3-point advantage.
Sam Erickson off the screen to the free throw line. Out left to Bilal, back up top, Erickson, step back 3, hand in his face, off the back iron. Tier for Lincoln, bats the ball to Schaefer, and the Patriots get a fresh 35 off the O-board. And now a lob down the right baseline toward DeGroat, ripped off by Kranzler. Schmoss brings it across half court for Roosevelt. Schmoss driving into the lane, little left-handed scoop off the glass and in. C.J. Schmoss showing off the athleticism. He has 4, and it's 13-12 Lincoln, 2 minutes into the second quarter.
Well, made baskets also let Roosevelt get in their press so they can really ramp up the pressure.
DeGroat blazing down the right side of the lane. Off the glass miss. Got his own rebound. Just taller than everybody else in the area code. Got the putback. 4 points for DeGroat in the last minute. And it's 15-12 Patriots.
That's a great job by DeGroat. Just sticking with it. Using his size to get after the O-glass.
Pretty pass. A bounce from Kranzler inside. Dang couldn't finish it off. Then the rebound left glass. The putback for Moko. And the foul. He had Schaefer and DeGroat on him. And it's a hack on the arm. Sam Erickson was there too.
Yeah, our Vance Thompson vision replay showing you how Moko's getting after the O boards for Roosevelt and using his strength, John, to get that ball up on the rim. It goes in, and he's got a chance for a three-point play to tie this game.
Schaefer and Erickson, two dangerous starters, are out for Lincoln. Kranzler, who made some nice plays the last couple minutes, and Dang out for Roosevelt. Jamari Tiger, their leading scorer and three-point shooter, is in. Moko for the old-fashioned three-point play, a line drive off the front of the rim, and the rebound is ripped by Lincoln's Justin Bilal. 15-14 Patriots.
Roosevelt has not done themselves any favors from the free throw line early on in this game.
3 minutes into the second quarter to steal. Half court, Bylander driving one-on-one and the two-handed jam! Memphis Bylander throws it down, a 16-15 Roosevelt lead. Lincoln gets it across quickly. Bilal left wing three. Air ball, rebound underneath Knoll for Lincoln. Out to Painter, right wing, slashing in on three riders. Throws it wildly off the glass, got his own rebound. A push is whistled on the board. It's on Painter, who has 3 first-half fouls.
Yeah, and he's gotten all of them on the offensive end. Here's our Vance Thompson vision replay of Bylander going coast to coast and flushing that basketball. That's a big-time play for Roosevelt, getting the defensive steal and then turning it into offense. That's one of the keys we talked about at the beginning of this game.
Vintage Mitch Begeman now in his 9th year at Roosevelt, and that is the number one reason they won back-to-back state championships in 2021 and 22 with plays exactly like that. Leading top-ranked Lincoln 16-15, 4:40 remaining first half. Tiger between the rings for the Riders as they go left to the right goal. And Bylander wants a three at the top. That's short. DeGroat got a hand in his face. Long rebound to Schaefer. He runs it down. Outlet to Knoll. And Knoll missed the layup. Bylander flew in. The bucket counts. It's a goaltend on Bylander.
Yeah, Vance Thompson vision replay going to show you here that Knoll got it up on the glass and then Bylander touched it after it had hit the backboard. That is automatic goaltending and 2 points for Lincoln.
17-16, not a Mona Lisa offensively, Brad, but an exciting game as they go back and forth.
And honestly, that's probably the way Roosevelt would prefer it, right? They don't want this to be a pretty game by any means on the offensive end.
Rough Riders average 55 a game. They have it. Chance to go back up. Kick out to Bylander. Left baseline, driving, spinning on DeGroat. Traveled. DeGroat forcing the travel. Lincoln ball. Patriots can play a little defense as well. They give up just 48 a game.
I think it's something they've gotten even better at as the year's gone on. And the more they can get Roosevelt to have to play in the half court, that certainly favors the Patriots.
Well, their one loss was to Mitchell a few weeks ago after starting 10-0, and they are really locked down on defense and the boards in practice. And in their 6 games, all wins ever since. Sam DeGroat took a pass into the post and got fouled on the arm by Memphis Bylander. That's his first, Roosevelt's second of the second quarter. 17-16 Lincoln lead, halfway through the second, 4 minutes in. Schaefer the inbounds pass underneath the Lincoln goal. Up top to Kremkes, the big man. And he hands it off to Schaefer, just left of the key. Schaefer now gets a screen from Kremkes down the baseline, high off the glass, and fouled on his way up. The Riders don't want to make anything easy for a Lincoln squad full of guys who know how to score. Only one starter shoots under 50%. Schaefer goes to the line, though, off the first foul on Roosevelt's Bryson Skogsberg.
Well, you see that Lincoln's got multiple ways that they can attack you offensively. We've seen them hit some First Dakota three-pointers in this game. We've seen them attack the rim, get out in transition, and be also active on the offensive glass.
Schaefer, a 67% free throw shooter, canned his first of the night. Drills his second as well. He has 5 points. That's halfway to his season average. Lincoln with its biggest lead, 19-16, 3:45 left, first half. Nearly full gymnasium, crosstown public school showdown. And it feels like it. Tiger, right of the key three, off a screen, back iron. He has yet to get going. Skogsberg tried to throw it off Kremkes. It goes off his head. It gets into the lane, and then Schaefer picks it up for Lincoln. Schaefer far side driving across half court, switching his dribble, kicks it left wing to DeGroat, and Tiger just knocked it out of his hands. And DeGroat couldn't recover. It's off of DeGroat out of bounds into the left corner. And actually out of the gym. It goes through one of the doors there.
Out to the concession stand, right? But, hey, Roosevelt is flying around defensively right now, John. They are playing with their hair on fire, right, and just really wreaking some havoc. They're speeding Lincoln up, and that's causing some of those turnovers.
Big possession for Roosevelt, and Schmass again drives by everybody with the left hand. Boy, he can move, and Lincoln flat-footed all across the board. Schmass with 6 for the Riders. It's 19-18.
Yeah, they have not been able to contain Schmass with the ball in his hands. They're not even screening for him. He's just straight-line driving, getting past his defender.
Man-to-man defense for Roosevelt. Schaefer left wing, shot fake on Tiger. Drove in on a double team, kick out to DeGroat. He gets closed out by Carson Hoynes at the top. DeGroat dribbling between his legs, gets harassed by Schmass left elbow, files it into Kremke's, spinning around 2 Rough Riders. Baby hook no good with the right hand off the front rim, and the rebound Kranzler, who powers it across half court for Roosevelt. Lincoln gets set in the D. Tiger puts it on the deck right wing, backed in on Schaefer, who's whistled for the foul.
No, they called an offensive foul on Tiger that time. He extended his arm to create space, and Roosevelt turns it over.
And Schaefer kind of said, get out of here with that. So Tiger to Roosevelt's bench. Hasn't scored yet. The average is 11 on the year. He's missed his 3 3-point attempts, and he's a player who makes over 2 of those a game, 36 on the season. Substitutions on both sides. Full court press for Roosevelt off the inbounds pass in the Riders' right corner. DeGroat moves it across half court, past Bylander all the way halfway down the paint. Faked a pass, then tried to scoop it toward the hoop and was fouled on his way up. So DeGroat covers the whole court and gets rewarded with a trip to the line.
Well, there aren't very many guys who are 6'6" and can handle the ball, like you said there, full court, with some confidence, take it all the way to the rim.
And drawing the foul on Memphis Bylander, Roosevelt's second leading scorer, has 2.
Yeah, that's big for him. They need him on the floor, and Mitch Bageman's going to leave him out there with 2 fouls and 2:16 to go here in this first half.
DeGroat misses his first free throw. He is 59% on the year. Second right-handed flick. That was perfect rotation right through the twine, and Lincoln, the number 1 team in the state, leads Roosevelt 20-18.
Now, we talked about it. Lincoln averages 68 a game. They've scored over 70 on routine in this season, and they're sitting on 20 right now with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Roosevelt's ball to the right goal. Schmass dribbling right hand, trying to plow through traffic down the right rails. Patriots want a traveling call. Schmass is just trying to barge his way to the hoop, and this time he got a little grab on the shoulder call on Justin Bilal, his first, and the Patriots' 4th. Now Roosevelt with 5 team fouls, so Lincoln gets the automatic 2-shot bonus every time Roosevelt will foul these last 2 minutes. And 1 more foul on Lincoln, Roosevelt gets the same luxury. Inbounds pass goes to the right wing, and a handoff to Moko. Throws it to the left wing. Schmass driving, tough angle around Schaefer, no. Tipped by Bilal to Schaefer. Schaefer brings it across half court. Schmass all over him, and it works. Kranzler the steal, full court drive, and he's fouled on his way up with the left hand by DeGroat.
Now, give Roosevelt a lot of credit so far in this game. They are speeding Lincoln up, and they're making the Patriots play faster than they want to, and it's resulting in turnovers. You know, we don't have the official count, but I would guess Lincoln's knocking on the door of already 10 turnovers in this game.
So 2 free throws for Kranzler. He makes the first, and the next one will tie it if he can put it down. He's only attempted 5 free throws on the year. He's made 4 of them after that swish. 1:44 left, first half. Second on the way. Left-hand flick is in. And check that. That was Skogsberg, the transfer from Vermillion. His first 2 points of the game. And we're locked at 20.
Well, you could not have scripted a better first half for Roosevelt. They're holding Lincoln down. They're turning them over. And for a Patriot team that averages 34 a half, only with 20 so far.
DeGroat able to break the press. Left corner Bilal. Shot fake, drives the right baseline. Reverse scoop, high off the glass with the right hand. And a high level make. And Bilal has 8 to lead Lincoln. It's 22-20. Defense chance from the Lincoln students. There's about 5-6 rows of them. They're dressed in green tonight. Love to know why. Right corner, Schmoss driving, cut off on the block by Knoll. Three-pointer right wing, short from Quick. Rebound, Kranzler up top to Moko. Another chance for Roosevelt. Moko driving, left-handed scoop in traffic, no. And the ball batted to Schaefer in the mid-post. The rebound for Lincoln. A minute left in the first half. Patriots up by 2 with the ball. They're going to take a little time. Schaefer to DeGroat. Left, handoff to Knoll. Up top to Bilal. Erickson, deep three. Got it!
First Dakota three and a big one for Lincoln as Sam Erickson rings the bell for the second time tonight.
25-20, biggest lead either team has had in this razor-sharp game. Left wing three is on the way, and it's off the mark for Garong. Rebound by Bilal for Lincoln, left of the lane. And the Patriots have the last 20 seconds of this first half if they want it. They have been harassed and have trailed multiple times, and yet the number one team in the state could be up by 7 or 8. Down to 10 seconds. Schaefer's just been dribbling in the backcourt. Now he puts on the Jets and floats a pass that's tipped away by the long arms of Akeem Moko just beyond Lincoln's left wing, out of bounds. 4 seconds remain in the first half, and Edison Knoll the inbounds pass on the near hash mark. And he'll find Schaefer to 3-2. Schaefer at the top, guarded closely. Schaefer moves in, scoop shot is good at the buzzer. 4 seconds, that felt like an eternity. Brody Schaefer with the perfect timing, Brad. He had Isaiah Garong in his face on the right elbow, and instead of taking a near impossible shot, he makes one more move, a dribble in, and the right-handed scoop from about 5 feet.
Well, what a finish to the first half for the Patriots to go up 7. A big three-pointer, a couple other big buckets, and they have their largest lead of the game heading into the locker room.
It is a 9-0 run to end the first half. 27-20 for the top-ranked team in the state from Lincoln at their rivals from Roosevelt. We'll take a 4-minute timeout. We'll have some highlights, maybe some stats, and we'll try to wrap our brains around what these teams need to do to come out with the win in the second half. From the west side of Sioux Falls on our Avera Game of the Week, Fox Sports 98.1, Metrosports.tv, The Outlaw Channel 13.2, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
All have dreams. At South Dakota State University, we dare to dream big. From the arts to the sciences, students and faculty discover what is possible and solve complex problems, challenging ourselves to think differently and impact our world. With SDSU, reaching to the stars starts on solid ground. Experience our elevated approach to education that prepares students to walk toward their future and build something greater.
This guy had more issues with his eyes. The minute he first came out of surgery, he walked in with a huge grin on his face, and for the first time since he was a little kid, he could see perfect.
Going to Vance Thompson Vision was an easy experience. If you're going to trust your eyes to anybody, trust them to a leader in that field.
When it came time for me to make a decision about where we were going to go for my LASIK surgery, there was no question that it would be Vance Thompson Vision.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part. Earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
In nursing, where you work matters. At Avera, we build Team Green around you. With a culture that values and supports you. Leaders who listen and care about your success. And benefits to reward the great work you do. The grass is greener at Avera. So join Team Green. Learn more at avera.org/careers.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
Dakota News Now at 9 on Fox Sioux Falls. Your first and only local news in primetime. 1 hour to focus on the headlines of the day, plus breaking news as it happens. 1 hour to provide in-depth coverage of the biggest stories, alerting you first to what impacts you and your family's safety. 1 hour to give you a more detailed look at your first alert forecast, updating you every 5 minutes so you can prepare for tomorrow's forecast tonight. Dakota News Now at 9 on Fox Sioux Falls. Your first alert.
I'm back. Thank you.
Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
Josh and Emily are visiting Emily's parents this weekend, where Josh will propose. He's nervous, but not about the ring. Well done, Josh. Well done. Chase is proposing to Ashley at the resort where they first met. Ashley was vacationing with friends, but Chase ended up being her best friend of all. Plus,
at Roosevelt High School, where the Rough Riders, man, they put up a brick wall at times for the top-ranked team in the state from Lincoln, but the Patriots finished the first half on a 9-0 run to take a 27-20 lead. John Gaskins with Brad Newitt here on the simulcast. You can watch this thing on the Outlaw Channel 13.2 or at metrosports.tv and dakotanewsnow.com. Brad, what has been the difference so far?
Honestly, the last 2 minutes of the first half, right? I mean, this game was tied basically at 20-20. Lincoln ends on a 9-0 run there, but it was Lincoln really just making the last push there, right? They hit a big three. They got one from Erickson, got a couple points in transition, and then finished the half with a big-time bucket by Schaefer. It's a fine line, but I think overall Roosevelt played a pretty good half there, right? They turned Lincoln over. They played well defensively, held down the top team in the state's offense, right? And so I think you got to be pretty happy if you're the Riders.
We have some highlights to check out from the Vance Thompson Vision replay, and it got going early for Roosevelt. Dang quick, lifting the lid with a three-pointer. That had to be a big confidence booster for the Rough Riders. They got stops on their first 4 possessions. It took a while for Lincoln to score, but then Sam Erickson, one of the more dangerous players in the state from beyond the arc.
Yeah.
You thought maybe he could get warmed up. He had 5 3-pointers against Harrisburg earlier this year, 6 against O'Gorman, but only had two in that first half for Lincoln. The Patriots knocked down 5 3-pointers to Roosevelt's 1.
Yeah, the first Dakota three-pointers were the big difference. And Lincoln's been doing that all year. Like we talked in the pregame, right? They averaged 9 made threes a game. And they can get it from a variety of sources. We saw Erickson hit a couple there, like you said, but they've got players all up and down their lineup. And I think for Roosevelt, they've got to be able to make a few more perimeter shots, right? They didn't really get it heated up from the three-point line. The one thing they were able to do was get to the rim, and Schmass was definitely a big part of that, as you see there on that Vance Thompson Vision replay.
He led all Riders with 6 points, and Roosevelt 2 of 5 at the line. Lincoln 5 of 6. Akeem Moko, there's one player that could wreak a lot of havoc late in the game. With his length and athleticism in the paint, he had 4 first-half points. Schmass led the way with 6. 1-3 apiece from Tiger and Quick, so the Riders actually had 2 3-pointers, and we just saw the highlight of the game so far. Memphis Bylander got the steal and the two-handed jam. They'd love to get him more involved. Those were his only 2 points. And meanwhile, for Lincoln, Justin Bilal off the bench with a pair of 3-pointers and a 2-pointer added to make it an 8-point night. There's the 2-pointer, a reverse baseline drive that was pretty. 5 points coming from Schaefer, 6 from Erickson off a couple of threes. It's 27-20, Lincoln with a halftime lead, the state's #1 team looking for its 7th win in a row. Can the Riders pull off the comeback and the upset? Second half a minute away on our Avera Game of the Week.
News now at 9 on Fox Sioux Falls. Your first and only local news in prime time. 1 hour to focus on the headlines of the day, plus breaking news as it happens. 1 hour to provide in-depth coverage of the biggest stories, alerting you first to what impacts you and your family's safety. 1 hour to give you a more detailed look at your first alert forecast, updating you every 5 minutes so you can prepare for tomorrow's forecast tonight. Dakota News Now at 9 on Fox Sioux Falls, your first alert station.
Starting the First Bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Second half, top-ranked Lincoln leading Roosevelt 27-20. At Roosevelt, the Patriots 16-1, ranked #1 on a 6-game win streak, finished the first half on a 9-0 run. The Riders are 7-9, having won 3 in a row. Lincoln with the ball to start the first half on a baseline drive. Sam Erickson just hung it over the rim. Well defended by Dane Quick, and he got the board. And here come the Rough Riders right to the left goal. White jerseys and shorts, maroon numerals, yellow trim. Memphis Bylander moving down the right rails on Sam Erickson, traveling as he tried to dish a bounce pass to the left side of the lane. So a turnover for the Riders, and Lincoln gets it back. John Gaskins with Brad Newitt. Lincoln, by the way, in their Columbia blue jerseys and shorts, white numerals, red trim. Sam Erickson right wing. Dangerous, but double teamed. Up top, Schaefer. Deep three. Off the back iron and tips to the free throw line. Schmass outlet into the right corner. Bylander thought about a 3. Schaefer closed on him, and Roosevelt then has a ball tipped out of bounds by Sam DeGroat on the far side. Again, Lincoln finished the first half on a 9-0 run, so Roosevelt hasn't scored in over 3 minutes of game time, having hit a field goal in over 4 minutes.
Yeah, they need to get some things going here offensively. They've really stalled out, and Lincoln's done a nice job defending in the half court, and they just got another turnover, a 5-second call against Roosevelt.
C.J. Schmass just trying to figure out what to do, where to go. Can you explain that real quickly? He wasn't holding on to the ball for 5 seconds.
Well, he's closely guarded, right? And so you have to make progress towards driving to the basket if you are.
Brody Schaefer, talk about not impeded at all. Blazing from the left wing, had an open lane. Most of the Roosevelt defense on the other side of the court. An easy lay-in for Schaefer. It's 29-20. Lincoln lead. Bylander dribbling, free throw line, got space from Erickson, dished it out left wing. Now a drive into the traffic. Kranzler just kind of threw it up wildly off the glass. Krepke's at 6'4", got the rebound for Lincoln.
Yeah, Lincoln's really starting to dominate the boards in this game. They were +6 to end that half, and now got a couple more here in this second half to start it out.
DeGroat trying to drive on Kranzler, spinning, and just Kranzler right in his face. Back to the timeline now. Erickson drives, kick out, right wing three to Grote. Boomerang!
Yeah, huge. First Dakota three for Lincoln, their third player that knocks one in. And that was a great assist by Sam Erickson to get DeGroat the ball.
32-20 Lincoln lead. It's a 14-0 run for the Patriots and a 5-0 start to the second half. Crowd quiet. Here's Bylander for three. Back iron. That was open for Roosevelt, left of the key, and DeGroat the rebound.
Now, this is why Lincoln's the number one team in the state. Has only lost one game this year. They just have a lot of offensive weapons.
Erickson, baseline drive, misses the floater from 4, got the rebound right back to him. Up top, now left wing 3, Schaefer, rim and glass, Mocha the rebound. Roosevelt dodges a bullet, badly needs points. Schmass driving across half court. Now Kranzler at the top, little head fake, and hands it off to Dane Quick.
Yeah, I think you just look at this starting five for Roosevelt. There's no, go-to guy offensively, and they need a bucket big time from someone.
Moko driving the right baseline, backed in on Krempke's, loose ball up top, Bylander 3, rim and glass, and DeGroat the rebound.
Great look for Bylander. He's just had a tough night shooting it.
Schaefer driving the right rails and fouled as he flung it up. Kranzler will be whistled for the infraction. And talk about somebody who can take over a game. Brody Schaefer, man, especially in second halves of games I've seen from Lincoln this year. So often they just decide to let him blaze down the lane and see if he can either get the bucket or draw a foul, and sometimes both. Got the foul on this one.
Yeah, I would agree with you, John. He's really good in transition, making decisions, and he is a sophomore out there doing this, and you just don't see that a lot. I mean, he didn't play any varsity basketball last year as a freshman for Lincoln, but yet this year is one of their main guys, and it was the same story for him on the football field, right? I mean, he pretty much played on Lincoln's freshman team last year for football, became their starting quarterback, and they won the state championship.
Yeah, he had three touchdown passes in the state championship game. He makes both free throws. It's 34-20 Lincoln on a 16-0 run back to the end of the first half.
I mean, that says a lot, too, about what Lincoln's done defensively here. I mean, they have been locked down right now on Roosevelt.
Man-to-man defense. Erickson in the face of Dang at the right elbow. Back up top, Skogsberg to Schmass left of the key. Tiger left corner 3. It bounced off the front of the rim and got in. And the leading three-point shooter for the Riders this year has his second tray of the game. And the Rough Riders call a timeout, knowing they got fortunate on that. That was not looking like a good shot. 34-23, and that is how Roosevelt stops the bleeding. A look at it on the Vance Thompson vision replay.
Yeah, that was an interesting first Dakota 3 there. I mean, it bounced high off the rim and just trickled in there for Tiger, who got his second 3 and finally breaks this long run that Lincoln had. And then timeout Roosevelt here. I think they are going to switch up some things defensively here maybe. And maybe let's see here, John, if they really start ramping up the pressure, maybe looking for some traps and trying to see if they can force some turnovers. They did a good job of that in the first half. They haven't been able to do that here of late, though.
4:33 remaining, third quarter. It's Lincoln 34, Roosevelt 23. Patriots ranked number 1, 16-1 overall on a 6-game win streak after their only loss, which was by 11 to Mitchell 3.5 weeks ago on a Friday night. Mitchell packed the Lincoln Gymnasium that night. Schaefer fumbles as he was just dribbling on the right elbow and kind of trying to decide what to do. I think he was trying to decide as he bolted toward the basket, am I going to pass this? Am I going to kind of make a move left toward the hoop? And the ball just goes off his foot. And so Roosevelt, chance to trim this back to single digits. Rough Riders had several leads in that first half as they went back and forth. Tiger for 3, right wing. Rim glass missed. Tipped, though, to the top of the key. Quick for 3. That's an air ball, and it's grabbed by Schmass running underneath the hoop, just basically stealing it away from Edison Knoll.
And some great hustle by Roosevelt here to get themselves second chances.
Schmass now trying to drive between 3 different Patriots. One of them, Krempke's, knocking him down. Krempke's saying, I was just there. He fell down, but for the big man, it is his first foul, Lincoln's first of this third quarter, and now 2 free throws for C.J. Schmass.
Yeah, this is how Roosevelt needs to get back to playing, right? They were playing with a lot of urgency and just, I think I described them as their hair was on fire for a good part of that first half. And they kind of got away from it. They didn't come out of the locker room that way either in this third quarter. But if they're going to get back in this game, they've got to just play with some reckless abandon out there.
Schmass made his first free throw. He's now 1 of 3 on the evening, 71% on the year. Isaiah Garong, one of a few athletic Roosevelt players that has been prone to heating up. It hasn't happened in this game. Comes off the bench. He's in. Schmass, again, a couple lazy dribbles, right-handed flick, right on through. 34-25 Lincoln. The Patriots are on the wrong end of a 5-0 run after a 16-0 stretch of their own. The last 9 of the first half, the first 7 of the third quarter. Knoll on the left wing off a screen for 3. Got it! Edison Knoll off the DeGroat screen. His first 3 points of the game, it's 37-25.
Another First Dakota 3 for Lincoln, who's just raining in 3-point shots here in the last 5 minutes of this game.
Schmass had a clear lane and drove past his single defender, but could not finish, and the rebound goes to DeGroat. So the Patriots with a 12-point lead, already smelling blood in the water, already seeing it. Painter for 3 left wing, contested. That's off the front of the rim, and the rebound goes to Skogsberg for Roosevelt.
You won't see Lincoln force too many, but that time Painter did.
So Tiger off the screen in the backcourt, dribbling to the free throw line. Back up top, Skogsberg long 3. That's canned! Bryson Skogsberg, the Vermilion transfer with a First Dakota 3. And it's back to a single-digit 37-28 lead. Number 1 Lincoln with under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter at 7-9 Roosevelt. Knoll powering down the right side of the lane. One hesitation that stopped quick in his tracks, and the lane for Knoll. 5 points in the last minute for him.
Now, Lincoln's got so many shooters, they spread you out, and then when you think you got that covered up, they will drive you.
39-28 Patriots. Tiger driving the lane, floating it up over Knoll, missed it. Rebound Schmass at 5'9", got the putback underneath, and the foul.
You gotta love the heart that C.J. Smosh is playing with out there. Probably the smallest player on the floor, John, but he's gotten 3 offensive boards here in this game. The Vance Thompson Vision replay showing you how Tiger kept it alive. And then Schmass getting it up on the rim and a chance at a 3-point play.
5'9", all skin and bones and hair. C.J. Schmass.
Yep.
The dreads draped over. He's back at the line where he is now 2 of 4 tonight, and he missed it. DeGroat got the rebound on the right block. Score remains Lincoln 39, Roosevelt 30 here at Roosevelt in front of a nearly full gymnasium. Great crowd tonight for a crosstown showdown. Man-to-man Roosevelt defense. Painter driving from the right wing. Double teamed at the block up top to DeGroat. Now Schaefer deep back left. Left-handed dribble into a triple team. Up top to DeGroat for 3. Front iron and the rebound Skogsberg for Roosevelt. Outlet. Garong on the left wing. Inside a minute 50 remaining in the third. It's a 9-point Lincoln lead. Skogsberg off a screen. A deep 3 right side. Got it again! Skogsberg with back-to-back First Dakota 3s, and the lead is down to 6.
Well, we said it at the halftime break. If Roosevelt was going to get back in the game, they've got to heat up a little bit from the 3-point line, and Skogsberg's hit 2 huge ones for the Riders.
Yeah, it sliced a 12-point lead in half. Now a baseline jumper from Bilal, short for Lincoln, and then a jump ball to Grote for the Patriots. Carson Hoynes for Roosevelt, and the arrow goes to the Rough Riders. So another stop just when they looked, if not dead, certainly on life support against the state's number 1 team. The Riders have plenty of life. They now have a chance to cut this to 4 or to 3 with a 3-pointer, and they've been reining them in.
Yeah, that 3-point shot, I mean, it's an equalizer. You start knocking in a couple of them, and you can slice leads pretty quick. And like you said, Roosevelt has cut this 12-point deficit in half.
Couple substitutions for both teams. Schmass with the hot hand for Roosevelt. Driving it with Knoll in his shorts, then a switch up tier guarding Schmass. Now Tiger at the top. A head fake on Schaefer to Hoynes. Down low, 1 dribble, up it goes, and Garong made his move on Bilal. Check that, it's Isaiah Garong with his first 2. It's a 4-point game. Inside a minute left in the third, and Roosevelt on the comeback trail. An 8-0 run. Game of runs so far. Lincoln 16-0. Bilal left wing three, popped in and out. Kremke's got the rebound, tipped him up top to Knoll. A fresh 35 for Lincoln. Schaefer a head fake on Schmass. Schmass tying him up. Schaefer spinning, bounce pass, right baseline drive. Knoll, bucket and foul. What a pass by Schaefer, who looked stymied. The Roosevelt crowd got excited about that, and everybody was sleeping on Knoll down the baseline for the lay-in.
Well, it was great offensive rebounding. Lincoln really crashing the glass hard, keeping it alive. Vance Thompson vision replay here showing you some great passing, but again, the offensive boards.
The foul on Carson Hoynes. Knoll knocks down the free throw for the three-point play. He has 7 points, all in the third, and it's a 7-point Lincoln lead with 25 seconds remaining in the third. Shot clock is off. Man-to-man Lincoln defense spread out. Schmass at half court, now Tiger back left. Tiger back to Schmass. 11 on the clock. Schmass near the timeline. Schmass puts it on the deck, drives past Schaefer, muscling in, throws it off the glass, miss. 4 seconds left. Kremke's rebound to Knoll. Knoll to Schaefer. Half-court three to beat the buzzer. Oh, just a little left of the mark. Hit the backboard, and we go to the fourth. The Patriots powered to a 14-point lead. Roosevelt cuts that in half. It's 42-35, the top-ranked Lincoln Patriots at Roosevelt, and the fourth quarter is a minute away on our Avera Game of the Week. Fox.
Finding a place to belong is everything. It's where you can make a difference, where you're heard, where you have a team that supports you, and the benefits you deserve. At Avera, you can find that place. You belong at Avera. Apply today. Avera.org/careers.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
We start the fourth quarter from Roosevelt. Top-ranked Lincoln with a 42-35 lead in the ball. And the Riders get a turnover in the lane. Schmass the interception, up ahead. Schmass finishing the drive and the foul. C.J. Schmass, the smallest player on the floor, now has 12 points. He just got a big-time rip-off in the lane. He threw it ahead to Skogsberg across the timeline. Skogsberg, a long bounce to Schmass, driving in, drawing the foul, and a chance at a three-point play.
Well, he's playing with so much heart out there. And, I mean, he's been the catalyst for Roosevelt on both ends of the floor.
Yep, a game-high 12 points, leading all players. Now 13 as he made the free throw. 42-38, Lincoln the lead. Slimmest it's been since late in the first half. It was a 2018 Roosevelt lead before the Patriots finished on a 9-0 run for a 7-point lead into the break, and then they scored the first 7 of the second half. Schaefer driving, kick out left corner three, in and out for DeGroat. Kremke's battling with Moko, out of bounds. Erickson flew in for Lincoln and couldn't corral it, and so the Riders get it back. A big stop for Mitch Begeman's crew.
I tell you, Roosevelt is giving Lincoln everything they want. Remember the first time these two teams played, it was Lincoln who dominated the game and won 71-47. That's not the case tonight.
Moko at the top, flips it over to Tiger deep right, gets a screen from Moko, dribbling left hand to elbow, traffic, out to Schmass, three ball, in and out. The rebound to Knoll. Lincoln dodges that bullet.
Yeah.
A minute into the fourth, the Patriots clinging to a 4-point lead.
Man, that would have been huge for Roosevelt to get that to fall.
Sam Erickson yet to really heat up in the second half. 6 points to his name, dribbling to the free throw line, flipping it to Kremke's right block, hesitation, can't make the banker over his defender, and Moko the rebound. Now Schmoss, a nifty bounce pass. Tiger driving. Bucket and foul! And Jamari Tiger with some primal screens, giving C.J. Schmoss a 5. The lead is now 2. And some awesome transition defense and then offense on the Vance Thompson Vision replay.
Well, you said it. How is Roosevelt getting their points here to start this fourth quarter? They're creating with their defense, John. Forcing turnovers, getting out and running.
The assist to Schmoss. The foul was on DeGroat, his second, or was it Erickson, his third? It's 42-41, the once 15-point lead down to 1. It is a 16-3 Roosevelt run. Schaefer left wing, screen from DeGroat. Schaefer free throw line. Schaefer triple team. Moko the steal. Ahead to Tiger. 2-on-2 drive. Bounces it ahead. The whistles blow just before Schmoss finished off the layup. And that certainly won't count. A hack on the arm whistled on Edison Knoll in transition on the pass. And so Lincoln's third foul of this fourth quarter. 6:06 remaining in the fourth. A 1-point Lincoln lead. Roosevelt the inbound. Schmoss underneath, way up top to Skogsberg. Step back 3. Off the front iron. Rebound Krempke's for Lincoln. Patriots stay ahead. Now get a chance to extend, and Luke Hanneman, their head coach, calls a full timeout. We'll take it with them. It's getting fun on the west side. Top-ranked Lincoln 42, Roosevelt 41 on our Avera Game of the Week.
The first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
A 17-3 run for Roosevelt has taken this top-ranked Lincoln lead down to 1. The Patriots off the timeout, can't get a reverse lay-in from Sam DeGroat. Akeem Moko the rebound. Luke Hanneman, the Lincoln coach, wanted a foul. Patriots still up 42-41, 5:40 remaining, fourth quarter. Man-to-man defenses. Roosevelt goes right to left to 3. Tiger off the side iron, out of bounds on the right baseline. Lincoln gets the ball back. John Gaskins with Brad Newitt on a game of wild runs.
Yeah, this is what high school basketball is all about. I mean, the gym is on fire. There's teams that are just laying it on the line. The number one team in the state in a hostile road environment trying to hang on to that number one ranking.
Erickson, top of the key, puts it on the deck, mid-post into Krempke's right corner. Quick ball movement to Grote, left of the key. Shot fake, drives, knocks down defender. And a block foul whistled on Skogsberg.
I think it was the right call there, and it's tough to take a charge, and DeGroat did a nice job of shifting his body, I felt. And 6'6", great handles for a guy his size, able to get into the paint.
Skogsberg's second. He has 8 points. He had a couple of three-pointers back-to-back, part of Roosevelt's massive comeback in that third quarter, but DeGroat misses the first free throw. He is now 3 of 5 tonight, 75% on the year. He has 7 points. His second free throw is canned. 43-41 Lincoln, 5:10 remaining in the fourth. C.J. Schmoss being hounded by Brody Schaefer across the timeline for the Riders. And now Memphis Bylander, who's been a bystander for a while in between the rings, he's in foul trouble. Now Schmoss down the right rails, triple team. Hits the deck with Schaefer. Whistle blows a little late. And Schmoss is going to earn himself a trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, Vance Thompson vision replay. Look how quick Schmass is once he turns that corner. And Lincoln, in this game, John, has not been able to keep Roosevelt's point guard contained.
He leads all scorers with 13, and again, the smallest guy on the court has just been fearless in driving on players bigger and stronger than him, and now 2 free throws. The gym grows quiet. The first right-handed flick is in and out.
That's been the thing that's really hurt him in this game is
you're not kidding.
He's had a lot of trips to the line, but hasn't been able to cash enough of them in.
Just 3 of 8. 71% coming into the game. Second free throw is off the back iron, and Kremke's the rebound. It's still 43-41 Lincoln. Boy, when you think about tight games against the number 1 team in the state, full of players who have won back-to-back state football championships, you think about those missed free throws. Schaefer on the left-handed drive, missed with Moko's defense. Moko the rebound. Schmass is fouled by Schaefer, trying to catch up with him down the court. And another foul on Brody Schaefer. That's his third. Schaefer, the second leading scorer for Lincoln at 10 points per game. And C.J. Schmass is shown to be one of the few guards that can really keep up with Schaefer step for step on both sides of the ball. I mean, Schaefer's usually the player dictating things and getting himself to the line, taking over a game in the second half. But that's Schmass right now.
Yeah, Schaefer hasn't been able to contain him, and unfortunately for Roosevelt and Schmass, he is just in a bad rhythm right now from the foul line.
Yeah, he just missed the first toss front iron. It's 3 in a row. Second one on the way. That is through. That should give him some confidence, because I don't think that'll be the last time he goes there. And now Mitch Begeman calls timeout for Roosevelt with 4:36 remaining in the fourth, and a 43-42 lead for top-ranked Lincoln. Patriots 16-1 and on a 6-game win streak, while the Rough Riders are 7-9 and have won 3 in a row and 5 of their last 7. John Gaskins with Brad Newitt. That was the first time out either team, has taken. I'll just recalibrate here. Roosevelt with 3 timeouts remaining and Lincoln with 4, so they both have plenty. These coaches know each other very well. Mitch Begeman, 2 state titles to his name in his 8.5 years at Roosevelt. And for those first 8, Luke Hanneman, a loyal assistant, now the head coach at Lincoln, and he's 16-1 in his first year. You think these guys can coach? It's going to be a fun chess match.
It is.
Down the stretch.
And you think they know what each other are thinking? You better believe they do after being together on the same staff for all those years.
DeGroat driving, switching hands, and laying it in with the left. A little baby hook from about 3 feet away. He dribbled with his right, turned his back on his defender. Just a beautiful play down low. 45-42 Lincoln. 4:10 remains, fourth quarter. Nearly full gymnasium at Roosevelt. Crosstown showdown. Schmass, a bounce pass ripped off by Erickson in the low post. He was looking for a baseline cutter, but the pass seemed a little too slow and was easy for Erickson to steal. So now the Patriots slowing things down. Schaefer in between the rings. DeGroat, high left side. Drives to the left block on Kranzler. Maneuvers left, then shimmies right. Floats it in from 5 or leans in from 5 and misses. Moko the rebound.
I think Lincoln likes that matchup, but that time DeGroat unable to finish.
Kranzler for 3. Got it! Left of the key. Micah Kranzler's first 3 points of the game ties the game. Roosevelt has come all the way back from 14 down in the third quarter. We are knotted at 45 with 3:15 remaining.
Man, huge first Dakota 3.
DeGroat for 3. Off the front rim, left of the key. Tracked down left corner by Schaefer. He drives the baseline. Past one defender and lays it in. 47-45. Lincoln retakes the lead. Luke Hanneman calls a timeout with 3:05 remaining in the fourth. Back and forth these teams go, exchanging haymakers, Brad.
Yeah, I mean, this is a terrific high school basketball game. The number 1 team in the state, Lincoln, getting all they can handle right now from an upstart Roosevelt team that's just playing with a lot of confidence. But I'll tell you, that was a big-time offensive rebound that time by Schaefer and finish to get his team back up on top by 2.
Mentioned Hanneman, 16-1 in his first year at Lincoln. Their only loss was to number 1 Mitchell 3.5 weeks ago. the Colonels just disrupted everything Lincoln had been doing. The Patriots had made 16 three-pointers at number 5 ranked Washington 3 nights before. They had absolutely undressed O'Gorman a week before when O'Gorman was ranked number 5. The average score in those 2 games was 68-34, and Mitchell just had the defense, they had the rebounding, and Luke Hanneman said, we just weren't tough enough that night. They've been working on defense, rebounding, physicality ever since a 6-game winning streak, and they've needed all of that tonight against Roosevelt, because that's the calling card for a Mitch Begeman team, no matter if they are offensively prolific or the number 1 team in the state or not. Of course, back-to-back state championships in 21 and 22 with Hanneman as an assistant. So the Rough Riders get it out of the timeout, down 47-45, under 3 to go, 4th quarter. Looking for a big upset at home. Skogsberg, left wing, puts it on the deck, cut off by DeGroat. And so the Riders get it back beyond the arc. Schmass backing into Schaefer, right elbow, out to the wing. Quick, hands it off to Skogsberg. Skogsberg looking around, 8 on the shot clock. Bylander on the left wing, down to 5, long 3 right wing. Skogsberg, it's short. Rebound Schmass, and Roosevelt gets a fresh 35.
Boy, Schmass has been terrific on the offensive boards, just using his quickness.
Skogsberg hesitating, up top. 3 ball on the way, Quick. Got it! Dang, Quick drains the 3. Roosevelt's first lead since just before halftime. 48-47, under 2:10 to go, 4th quarter. And this full gymnasium banging on the bleachers. Schaefer, drive, kick out. Knoll faked it in the left corner. Back to Schaefer, left corner for 3.
Wow.
And the lead goes back to Lincoln. Schaefer's 2nd tray of the game. He has 16 points. It's 50-48 Patriots. Great ball movement and decision-making by 2 state championship football players. Skogsberg at the top for Roosevelt. Right-handed pull-up. Got it. Right elbow. We're tied at 50, $1:30 remaining. Both teams nearly flawless offensively the last couple minutes. Roosevelt to the man-to-man. Schaefer right of the key, Schmass giving him a little space. Schaefer directing traffic, holding the ball in his lap. Puts it on the deck right hand. Right corner Knoll, inside Krempkes. Left corner now DeGroat, wide open 3. Yes, sir! Lincoln back up 53-50, back-to-back left corner 3s.
Boy, some huge shots. Both teams just throwing haymakers here.
Inside a minute left in the 4th quarter. In a city rivalry, Schmass, right hand, falling down as he started driving right of the rails. And the point guard for Roosevelt, leading them with 14 points tonight, getting back to the line. The Vance Thompson vision replay on DeGroat's 3-pointer to make this the 53-50 score that it is. Schmass at the line, 51 seconds remain. He is just 4 of 9 tonight. 71% on the year.
Boy, he struggled here tonight, but he needs these 2, and his team needs these.
And he drains the first. That was Lincoln's 15th foul, so every time the Patriots do foul Roosevelt, it's 2 automatic free throws. Roosevelt has committed just 1 foul, so no such luxury for the Patriots, who are looking to avoid just their 2nd loss in 18 games this year. Schmass with another free throw to cut the lead to 1, and he banged it home. 53-52 Lincoln, 50 seconds remain, 4th quarter. Schaefer casually dribbling across the timeline now to DeGroat, left key. Krempkes on the deck. Moko got a hand on the ball. Krempkes recovered. Schaefer off a screen, driving. Right elbow, lost it, a steal. Bylander got it for Roosevelt. 30 seconds remain. Shot clock is off. Mitch Begeman calls the timeout. 26 seconds remain. Lincoln 53, Roosevelt 52, as the Riders draw up a play to figure out how they're going to take down the number 1 team in the state after Memphis Bylander got the steal of the game.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, Roosevelt has played a terrific into the third quarter, and now this fourth quarter, they have played at a really high level, John, both on the offense and defensive end, and come back in this game. And now you've basically got this where you have the basketball. The shot clock is off. Roosevelt can hold this for the last shot if they want. Now down one. Now, I think you still want to shoot it with probably 8 to 10 seconds to give yourself a chance at an offensive rebound. But Roosevelt's got this thing right where they want it. I mean, you in theory don't have to give the basketball back to Lincoln. See if you can score, win this thing, and get on out of here.
My layman's prediction, they're going to keep the ball in C.J. Schmoss's hands and then see what kind of a move he can make, probably with about 8 or 10 seconds left. Try to drive, draw a foul. That's a risky proposition because he's only 6 of 11 at the line tonight, but he has been the spark plug for Roosevelt, leading all scorers in this game with 16. Both he and Brody Schaefer, who's been guarding him most of the night, have that tally. 53-52, top-ranked Lincoln over Roosevelt. 27 seconds remain. The Riders do have a couple timeouts left. No shot clock. This is it. Man-to-man Lincoln defense. Schmoss at the top to Tiger, left of the key. Tiger puts it on the deck in front of Knoll. Barges in, hangs it up, missed the shot. Bylander the rebound on the left baseline. Up top to Moko, 11 seconds left. Skogsberg for 3. It's blocked by DeGroat. Knoll the rebound on the right baseline with 7 seconds left, and he is fouled. He'll go to the line. Lincoln preserves a 1-point lead with a monster defensive stand. Oh, Brad. Sam DeGroat just got the block of the season on Skogsberg out on the right wing on the second chance.
Yeah, I think Roosevelt kind of got what they wanted. That time it was Tiger who got into the lane, had a pretty decent look, couldn't get that to fall. But like you said, they got the rebound with about 12 seconds to go. Bylander, great job on the glass, and they had plenty of time, but DeGroat was all over the shooter that time and blocked it cleanly, and great job by Lincoln picking up the loose ball.
And so Roosevelt just committed their second foul. The issue now, Brad, obviously, is they want to get Lincoln to the free throw line so they can get themselves another possession if they can't get a steal right away off the inbounds. But they're going to have to foul Lincoln. They're going to have to try to get the steal and foul Lincoln 3 times in a row before this happens.
Yeah, if you're Roosevelt, you almost want to try to just grab Lincoln if they start to make a cut and see if you can get the officials to call the foul without any time going off, because these seconds are precious with only 6.7 left, and you're down 1.
Knoll the inbounds pass far side on the hash mark. Roosevelt side to DeGroat, and he is fouled immediately by Skogsberg. 0.8 of a second went off the clock, so we're just a tick under 6 seconds. And now the inbounds, because this pass went over toward the Roosevelt goal, it looked like they were going to bring it all the way back to the Roosevelt baseline, which is risky business for Lincoln on the inbounds, right underneath the Roosevelt goal.
I don't know. I think they'd rather have it there than this sideline. This is a tough place to throw it in at.
They're up by 1, 6 seconds remaining. Knoll the inbound, looking all over the court. Oh, Memphis Bylander literally dove in for the steal, got a hand on the ball, but is whistled for the foul.
And that's the kind of foul I'm talking about there. Yeah. No time went off. They were holding Knoll as he tried to cut.
Yeah, the clock stays at 5.9. Now Roosevelt just one more foul to give before Lincoln goes to the free throw line. Isaiah Garong checks in for the Rough Riders. Memphis Bylander is out. And so Edison Knoll again on the far side at the hash mark on Roosevelt's side of the court with his team up by 1. Inbound to Erickson, and Garong just grabs Erickson around the hips. A second and 3/10 ticked away as that ball was inbounded beyond the timeline. And so now it's Sam Erickson to the line. 4.5 seconds remain, fourth quarter. Number 1 Lincoln leading Roosevelt, 53-52. Sam Erickson is 59% at the line on the year, and this is his first attempt tonight.
He's a great shooter, but he has had struggles here.
First left-handed flick is in, and it's a 2-point Lincoln lead. For what it's worth, the Patriots have 2 timeouts, and so do the Rough Riders. And Mitch Begeman takes it for Roosevelt. So the Riders down 2-1 at timeout remaining. And they are obviously looking to see what happens. Now, if Lincoln makes it, 55-52, and Roosevelt still has a timeout if they want to draw something up for the last 4.5 seconds. And if the Patriots miss and Roosevelt gets the rebound, I would assume you would do the same thing. They'll use that last time out.
Yeah, I mean, I would think
cover
so.
the whole court.
Exactly. I mean, you could do a couple different things. I think if you're Roosevelt here, I think if it's a made basket, you might even think about throwing it towards half court and calling a timeout then. That lets you at least then have the ball at half court trying to inbound it. I mean, either way, Roosevelt's going to have to do something pretty quick here, right?
What a game. Lincoln scored the last 9 points of the first half, the first 7 of the second half, got up by as many as 14 in the third quarter. Then the Riders went on a 17-3 run, came all the way back, got it tied, took the lead. And we've been back and forth with big shots, back and forth down the stretch now. Sam Erickson with 4.5 seconds remain, looking to extend top-ranked Lincoln's winning streak to 7. Leading by 2. Second free throw is in. It's 55-52. Roosevelt does not call the timeout. Inbounds goes to Garong. Mishandled it across half court. Hugged on the sideline. Heaves up a 3 to tie at the buzzer, and it's short. And the Lincoln Patriots survive a big-time scare on the road. 55-52 over Roosevelt for a 7th straight win and a 17-1 record.
Well, I tell you what, Roosevelt gave the number 1 team in the state one of their toughest tests of the year and went toe-to-toe with them. And they did it with some defensive pressure and some great three-point shooting down the stretch, but Lincoln shows you how good they can be when they can really spread the ball and get a lot of people involved offensively.
And excellent defense. Sam Erickson, after hitting the 2 free throws, forcing Roosevelt to make a 3, hugging the sideline, just keeping the path very obstructed for Isaiah Garong to have a really good look. He had to heave up a 35-footer, and it was well short because Erickson was draped right over him. So the Patriots survive 55-52. Vance Thompson Vision replays and an American State Bank player of the game before we head on out of Roosevelt. On a Tuesday night, what a high school basketball game we just had on our Avera Game of the Week. Fox Sports.
Finding a place to belong is everything. It's where you can make a difference, where you're heard, where you have a team that supports you, and the benefits you deserve. At Avera, you can find that place. You belong at Avera. Apply today. Avera.org/careers.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part. Earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
Make Dakota News Now part of your morning routine. Eric Thorstensen gives you the latest headlines and breaking news you need to know before you walk out the door. And Aaron Doudna has your first alert forecast so you can plan for the day, and several days in advance with our 10-day forecast. Get up-to-the-minute news and weather and start your day with a little fun. Every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on Dakota News Now.
This guy had more issues with his eyes The minute he first came out of surgery, he walked in with a huge grin on his face, and for the first time since he was a little kid, he could see perfect.
Going to Vance Thompson Vision was an easy experience. If you're going to trust your eyes to anybody, trust them to a leader in that field.
When it came time for me to make a decision about where we were going to go for my LASIK surgery, there was no question that it would be Vance Thompson Vision.
Top-ranked Lincoln survives a major second-half surge from Roosevelt, 55-52 in a battle of Sioux Falls public school teams on our Avera Game of the Week. And welcome to the post-game on our simulcast, Fox Sports 98.1 Radio, Metrosports.tv, the Outlaw Channel 13.2, and DakotaNewsNow.com, also carrying this outstanding clash of city rivals. John Gaskins with Brad Newitt. And this one was a game of runs. Lincoln had a 16-0 surge the last 9 of the first half. The first 7 of the second half, they got up by as many as 14, and Roosevelt just kept clawing back. And there were a lot of players making plays tonight on our Vance Thompson Vision replays. Brody Schaefer does his thing, driving in, unafraid, right or left hand. Schaefer tonight finished with 14 points. And on Roosevelt's side, Jamari Tiger, that really got things going. Jamari Tiger's three-pointer that appeared to be short on the left rim from the left corner somehow made it over and into the net, and that is what started Roosevelt's big comeback.
Yeah, it really did.
A 17-3 run. We saw Skogsberg hit back-to-back threes, including that. It was part of a 17-3 run. Skogsberg finishes with 9 points off the bench for Roosevelt. C.J. Schmoss was just an animal. 5'9", shortest, smallest, slightest, lightest player on the court, and he just played like a beast all night in traffic. Scored 16 points, struggled at the free throw line. That was a factor. There's the second of Skogsberg's 2 3-pointers in Roosevelt's comeback. And so once we got locked up, I mean, it got all the way, 45-45 is when Roosevelt finally tied this up about halfway through the fourth quarter, and then just back and forth they went with big plays.
Yeah, I mean, this was one of the best high school games we've had all year long, and Roosevelt deserves a ton of credit for pushing the number one team in the state. But in the end, I mean, Lincoln showed you why they're number one. I mean, they didn't get rattled here on the road, hostile environment, and they came up with some big plays down the stretch to win this basketball game.
Sam DeGroat, you saw one of his moves that allowed him to score 17 points tonight. Brody Schaefer had a big baseline drive there in the fourth quarter. So those were the 2 leading scorers for Lincoln. But for our American State Bank player of the game, I mean, we got to go with Sam DeGroat. He affected so many things on both sides of the ball, but this three-pointer from the left corner gave Lincoln a definitive lead, their final lead of the game. I believe they were down by 1, and that gave them a lead for 2, which they would hold on.
Yeah, I mean, Sam DeGroat, I thought, played a terrific second half, and they relied on him a lot. They let him create one-on-one off the bounce he got into there, and that 3 from the corner was the dagger one that ended up really giving Lincoln the win, and a big-time shot. DeGroats has had a terrific year for them. I mean, second leading scorer on this team. You could see they're doing some damage in the paint as well. And, yes, that's why he's our American State Bank player of the game.
Kid who has really developed. He started last year on the JV squad and ended up being the team MVP for Lincoln on Jeff Halseth's final squad. He retired after 35 years in the program and 15 as head coach. Turned things over to Luke Hanneman, and the former Lincoln Patriot, who was part of a 24-0 state title team in 2009 after 8 years on Mitch Begeman's bench at Roosevelt, helping the Riders to back-to-back state titles in 21 and 22. Hanneman beats his former boss tonight, 55-52 for the season sweep, and a 17-1 start. This is Lincoln's 7th straight win since their only loss of the season, which was to defending state champ and current number 2 Mitchell. By the way, rounding out some scoring, Justin Bilal with 8 off the bench for Lincoln, all in the first half. Edison Knoll with 7, Erickson with 6. And for Roosevelt, beyond Schmoss's 16, 9 for Tiger, 6 for Quick, and 4 for Akeem Moko. And C.J. Schmoss, man, heart of a Lion tonight, but he was 6 of 11 at the line. Roosevelt overall 9 of 15 at the stripe. Lincoln was 10 of 13. The Patriots knocked down 8 3-pointers to Roosevelt's 7. Just the slightest of margins.
Yes, exactly.
In both categories and a 3-point win.
Exactly, and that's the difference in this game, right? And, I thought Roosevelt defended Lincoln pretty well. I mean, they hold the Patriots 13 points below their average. They created a lot of havoc, sped Lincoln up, caused some turnovers. Lincoln's going to get a dose of this going forward, right, through their last 2 games and then into the state tournament. I mean, the target's on their back, and Roosevelt gave them everything they wanted tonight.
The Patriots get 10 days off.
Yes.
Before they go, and they don't go to Rapid City. They stay home. Wow. They stay home for Rapid City Central Friday the 28th, and then Stevens on Saturday the 1st, while Roosevelt will move on to play at Washington on Friday night. That'll be a big showdown for some points. The Riders could have used this not only for their confidence in their biggest win of the season, but also to help them in the points, which helps you in your seedings. And Roosevelt is fighting to get a home game in the Sodak 16. And, of course, win that one postseason game, and you're in the state tournament. Lincoln took another step to the number 1 seed. They're the number 1 ranked team, and they survived tonight 55-52. Brad, fun as always.
It was a terrific game, and this is the best time of the year for basketball, and we're seeing it. I mean, these teams really laying it on the line. That was the case for sure tonight.
For Brad Newitt and his entire crew, guided technically by Chad Berger. Tonight from Roosevelt High School, I'm John Gaskins. That does it for our broadcast on the Metro Sports TV empire. We'll come back with some scores from other high school games on the radio cast next on Fox Sports 98.1, AM 1230, and KWSN.com. So long from our Game of the Week.
In nursing, where you work matters. At Avera, we build Team Green around you, with a culture that values and supports you. Leaders who listen and care about your success. And benefits to reward the great work you do. The grass is greener at Avera. So join Team Green. Learn more at avera.org/careers.